This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
This table is really tilted.
Excuse me? Am I gonna get a chance to speak?
Maybe I should take that back.
Denied. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Take a giant step for mankind.
Welcome to the Tilted Table with your hosts, Sean and Joe.
Oh man, that's I don't think I've ever seen that. That's pretty good. That's really good.
All right, folks, welcome to another episode of the Tilted Table, the internet's answer to a question that no one asked. I am Sean Landon Clark.
And I am Joey Joe with the Fracky Mac.
And today we are going to talk about hard nopes.
Things that are hard nopes.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. And this was kind of spun off of the movie Yes Man, which was recently viewed. And I let Joe know that it was based on a book.
And I did not know that.
Yeah. And the movie itself doesn't follow the book specifically at all. It's just they use the idea. But it was written by a guy who decided to say yes to everything for, I think, a year and just basically chronicled his experiences with all the shit that he did.
Was it wild in the book?
I've never read the book.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Well, I love the movie. I love Jim Carrey's character. I think it's a great story. So when we were coming up with ideas for today, I thought, you know, there's a number of things in my life that it's like no chance, no can do, never going to happen.
Okay.
And then as I was thinking about that, some of them I even use as jokes. It's kind of like asking, you know, buddies will be like, dude, how often do you shave? And I'll say, you know, pretty much every day. You know, I make sure I do it with cold water and a rusty Bic, and I use like rubbing alcohol for aftershave.
When you came up with this idea, it was hard for me to come up with like hard nopes that weren't like inappropriate.
Like, well, that's easy.
Yeah, that's too easy, right?
Yeah. Just get on the laundry list for that one.
Yeah. But I was surprised. I have a list, and I can't say all these are totally hard nopes, but these are things that I think would definitely take hours and hours of nagging and prodding and coercing to get me to do any of these things. I have zero interest in them. So I look at them more as like I have zero interest in doing these things. I mean, I have reasons why I wouldn't do them, but most of it is based on that fact that I just don't find this interesting at all.
Sure.
Yeah, it would seem like it would feel like more of a chore to me to do these things. And when you go do something, you want to have fun.
100%.
Yeah.
So what's the first example of a hard nope?
For me? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give you one that actually has practical reasons. Caving or splunking.
Oh, for sure. That's on my list.
Is that
I don't understand. I get the everyone's has an adventuresome spirit, want to do something other people have never done, take a risk, you know, get a dopamine hit, whatever it is. But that's
But the thing with caving, I don't understand. I get everything you're saying. It makes total sense. Like you might want to say, let's say you want to go explore the jungles, right? And so you go to some remote place out, you know, on the other side of the planet, and you go through these jungles. I can get that, but the videos I've seen of people caving, and these are all like tragedy videos, people going down the wrong way and they get stuck and they die, is that some of these spaces literally aren't big enough to fit a human body through.
right.
That doesn't seem like you're exploring much of anything.
No.
I don't. What are you looking for? The smallest space on the face of the earth that you can shove your head through? It's not like you're seeing the beauty of nature,
Right.
or seeing some exotic things. It's a cave that progressively gets smaller and smaller, or you curve around some corner, and now you're just further underground. I don't understand why that. And it doesn't look physically fun.
No.
You know, like it looks like a lot. You know, some of these people, they're squeezing through these insanely tight places.
And I don't know if it's like a Jules Verne center of the earth type of thing. Like if we go far enough, we're going to find dinosaurs and there's going to be a sunlight inside of the planet type of a thing. But yeah, I don't. In any of those videos, there's. And I'm not like you have to have yellow signs and caution tape and all that kind of stuff. But you don't really have like really safety features. Like
There's none.
You get stuck and then bad things happen and it's tragic. And then I guess people just move on with your life because you also don't want to be, nominating these individuals for a Darwin Award.
Yeah. Yeah, I just there might be some. See, this is the problem. There might be some actual thing that they're looking for. I don't know what it is. Every video I've ever watched has been the tragedy ones. So that's what they're talking about. I've never watched one like, this is why you should go caving or why people do caving. I don't really get it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Like I said, there's so many other explorations that you can do, like scuba diving, for example. You get to see all these exotic fish, or you get to go to see rock formations and all kinds of crazy.
Yeah, you get to live out your inner Jacques Cousteau.
Flora and shit. Yeah, I've been inside caves, and again, maybe cave exploring where like there's waterfalls in it and there's all kinds of cool shit like that. But most of the ones I've seen are people who are exploring spaces, and they have to, they get on their bellies and they're snaking through these areas, and I don't get, like, why is this fun? What the fuck are you looking for? I don't get it.
Looking for a hope and a dream is what they're looking for.
Is there diamonds down there or something? Is there lost treasure?
Death wish.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're screwed if you run into a skeleton. You're like, ah, shit. Apparently you don't get out of this area alive.
Yeah. Well, one of the ones, so I guess, versus burrowing deep into the earth, like skydiving is a hard note for me. And I don't, one of the craziest videos is, that I saw on YouTube is Travis Pastrana jumping out of a plane with no parachute.
I've never seen this. I don't know. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know who he is.
He's like and I'm not an expert with this stuff, but he's like an X Games, rally car driver, motorcycle trickster, just extreme sports veteran type of deal. And I don't remember how long ago.
Okay, so let me. I've never heard of this before. So he jumps out of a plane with no parachute.
So
how high is he?
Well, they're way up in
10,000 feet or something.
Something like that.
I think that's the standard jump height.
Yeah, whatever. I don't. Whatever the standard is.
So my assumption is somebody jumps out with him with a parachute, and he's gonna somehow fly to him and latch onto him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so like the video starts with all these guys hanging out in the plane and high fives and everything else, and then he's like just got a pair of like swim trunks on, and then high fives everybody and jumps out of the airplane, and then I guess hopes for the best. He looks like he's having a good time. But
I'm sure he is.
Until you don't. I mean, even skydiving just by itself, that hard note. I got a couple of friends that are like addicted to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't see why I need to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. I want to ride that thing up and ride it all the way back down.
Yeah. So going back to Travis, I'm assuming he made it.
He made it. Otherwise, the story would have been like, let me start with the tragedy of Travis. Do it in like a Shakespearean type of voice.
Yeah, I actually have skydiving on my list as well. Big hard no for me, and not for any other reason than I don't really fully understand. I understand the adrenaline rush, but I have no interest in it. It's not like I'm scared to jump out of a plane. Parachute's a parachute. I just don't have any interest in jumping out of an airplane.
Well, it's right when, like, I guess most things in life, right when something starts to be like, yeah, I guess I could do it under the following conditions. And then even, I want to say it was like a year and a half ago, there was an air show out in Madeira where everybody's like, oh, the guy's going to jump out. He's going to have like that flare or the smoke thing on their ankles, and you're going to watch them twirl away, all the way down to the earth, and we're going to clap and yell and scream, and it's going to be awesome. And that did not happen. Everybody just watched that dude like go through the first chute, go through the second chute, and then plummet to his death in the middle of the parking lot. Like, I don't.
Hey, some people find that entertaining.
Yeah, again. That is a hard nope for me.
Yeah, I can understand that. Again, it's on my list as well.
And even like, I do like watching those squirrel suit videos though. That's kind of cool. But those are people that total death wish and hope your life insurance company never finds out.
Yeah, I definitely have seen enough of videos of people jumping off cliffs with these sort of makeshift wings or suits. Yeah. I saw one guy that I thought was kind of funny, and I'm thinking like, well, if I were to jump off of a cliff and do this kind of thing, this is what I would do too. He actually did a magic carpet ride, and it goes back to us.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and so he's flying on a carpet,
and he made it a long ways.
Yeah, he went pretty far. So I thought, like, okay, well, if you're gonna do something like that, at least do something like that. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah,
take that real magic carpet ride.
I say you can make that your profile picture on all your social media.
Oh God, yeah, you can tell you I would.
Live to tell about it.
So a hard no for me. And somebody might find this, surprising, as motorcycles. I will not ride on a motorcycle. I will not drive a motorcycle.
Like a regular motorcycle?
And even maybe dirt bikes, but I've never had the opportunity. But like motorcycles, I don't get motorcycles at all in any way, shape, or form. They seem impractical. Like you can't carry shit on. I mean, of course you can buy the compartments and stuff like that, but it all screams death wish to me. It all screams death wish.
But then you never given an opportunity to wear a leather jacket with fringe if you don't have a motorcycle.
No, you can do that in a convertible.
It just looks weird.
Yeah. Or you could ride a bicycle, for Christ's sake, with a leather jacket
with fringe.
With fringe on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's floating in the wind.
And then you never have an opportunity to go to the store to buy saddlebags.
Yeah. Well, I don't want saddlebags.
I kind of get that. It's funny.
I mean, have you ever ridden a motorcycle?
I have never, but that's where I get to this very brief story is I really wanted to learn how to buy or ride a motorcycle, and I actually was going to go to the dealership to look at a motorcycle. And again, I have no context. And I was talking to my buddy Eric, who used to race MotoGP for Yamaha, and I told him what I was thinking of doing, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm going to come to town. We're going to go to lunch. We're going to talk about it. And at the end of that conversation, if you still want to do it, I'll go with you to the dealership." And as we sat down, he's like, "So what kind of bike do you think you're going to want to look at?" And I said, and again, I don't know how to ride a motorcycle, never been on a motorcycle. And my answer was, I want to get a Ducati 999R. That's what I want. And at that, he holds up his hand. He stands up in the middle of the restaurant and lifts his shirt up so I could see all of his skin grafts.
No, fuck.
Needless to say, we did not go to said Ducati dealership, and 20-something years later, I still don't know how to ride a motorcycle. Not happening, man. Nope.
When I was growing up, all the rock stars that I idolized, and they put out the music videos, and a lot of them would be on motorcycles. And even then, being part of that culture and trying to imitate, all these guys, I have the same hair, I have the same clothes, and I'm playing the same kind of music and doing all that shit. I looked at those videos and I'm just like, fuck, I'd never ride a motorcycle. This is, and they're like cool Harleys or whatever they're driving.
You're right.
No, I have zero interest in motorcycles. They seem just, stupid dangerous to me.
And you don't want to be that one jerk in the neighborhood.
Yeah. And that's, loud as shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Hard no for me on the motorcycles.
It's the following for me is not only is it no, it's scary. If I see it, even if you tell me the name of it, I think I'm the fastest human being on the planet, even compared to Usain Bolt. If you just say the word, and it's hard for me to even do this right now, snake. No. There's a scene in did you watch that series Vikings?
I know I saw one episode
so
many
good.
Years ago. Everybody said it was really good. I've never watched it.
Outstanding, man. At the end, though, where Ragnar Lothbrok dies, and they throw him in this pit that's full of snakes, and then the camera kind of pans up. I don't know that I even slept that night. That was like a traumatic experience for me. I have a buddy, his name's Shane. Shout out Shane. I went over to his house for the very first time, and as I walked in the front door, I didn't realize the whole inside of his living room is nothing but reptile tanks.
God.
Oh man, I literally took a look around, and I just walked straight through, and I'd never been to the house before. I walked straight through his living room, out the back door slider, and stood in the middle of his backyard. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You have to come visit out here." I'm not doing that. Mm-mm.
Even in tanks, they bother you, huh?
Yeah, I can't even. Just the knowledge that they're in my vicinity is very disturbing.
I had a friend, Phil. Had 2 Burmese pythons, and this is when I was in my
There's no
20s.
point.
Well, so my feeling about snakes is I'm not afraid of snakes. I don't mind snakes in general as pets. I think they're stupid. For the only reason I would say they're dumb is because they're not pets to me. They're cold-blooded animals.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like dogs. You really can't play with them. I mean, technically you can. You can hold them and they'll slither around you and they'll do all that stuff. But they're not friendly. They're just there. So there's a famous video of a couple, and they have like their daughter. And if I had to guess the daughter's age, I'd say like maybe 3 years old, 4 years old. Mm-hmm. And they have this snake, and they're playing with the snake, and they put the snake up to the kid, and the kid is like, oh, enamored with the snake, and the snake is doing the tongue into the face, and they're like, oh, it's so cute, look at it, it's so cute. And I was sitting there going like, why is that cute to you? Do you know that snake, that tongue action, all that snake is doing is trying to figure out whether it could swallow your kid. And the only reason it doesn't swallow you is because the snake knows you're too big to swallow. That's the only reason the snake doesn't attack you. And when it's doing that to that kid, it's sizing up that child. And it might be looking at that kid going like, yeah, I think I can swallow this. Right? That's what it's doing. And I don't see that to be cute at all. They're stupid animals to have as pets.
Well, one of this, agreed. One of the craziest scenes in the movie, though, is from Dusk Till Dawn, Tarantino, where Salma Hayek like turns into that serpent.
Yeah.
Oh my! I remember watching that in the theater, and I think I came out of my chair like 3 feet when that happened.
She used to be the hottest woman in the world, and that just
no
ruined
more,
it.
Man. It's like anytime, even to this day, you'll see like a picture of her online or something. That's the first thing my brain goes to.
Yeah, my friend Phil, when he had these pythons, this is the other part of owning a snake that I would have a problem with, is that snakes will not eat dead animals. So the animal has to be alive. So if you're feeding it, you have to put live animals in the tank and let the snake, do its business. That's something I'm not okay with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to drop live animals into another animal's tank so they can be eaten. But the one thing that Phil did was he would feed his snake rabbits, and I can imagine how he did this on a regular basis, because when he did it and I saw it, I was like, this is disturbing. Like, I don't like this at all. So keep in mind, though, this is also 1993, 94. I don't know if he'd get away with this today without people really coming down hard on him. So he never put the live rabbit into the tank because he had an experience where the rabbit fought back and fucked up his snake. So he takes the rabbits now, puts them in a bag, and smacks them up against the wall really hard to injure them, where they can't really. They're still alive, but they're broken. And then he dumps this dying animal into the tank. Yeah, no. And when he did that, and to him, I'm just feeding my snake. It's not like a big deal. And I'm sitting there going like, man, if I had to do this, I don't know how often these things eat, once a week or where the fuck it is. There's no way. Nope. And I was just like, and everything, just beyond the fact that the snake is a stupid pet to have. The only reason it doesn't kill you is it doesn't think it can eat you. I don't know why you think that's a cool thing to have in your house. And on top of that, that's how you have to feed it. You have to actually injure another animal so that you can feed your snake. Everything about it, just hard no for me, just owning them as pets. Yeah. Now, snakes in general around me, like if somebody has a python, I'll hold the python and put it around me. I'm totally fine with that. But for people that love these animals and treat them like there's, I guess like a pet, and I'm like, why would you? I don't know. It's a fucking predator. No. Like, it's cold-blooded animal, has no love for you.
And on that note, I got to shift gears out of it because now I'm just weirded out even like thinking about it. So
did I disturb you with that?
Oh man, I think it also, I guess my final comment, it says something about the character of the person.
Yeah.
That has that, does that, and I don't know. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah. Neither am I.
So another hard nope. Even when I saw it, I had to be like, I don't know, 10 years old or something, and I knew even when I get older, as much experience as I might get, like I'm never going to shave my beard like Rambo in the movie with the giant knife.
Wait, what Rambo is that?
The first one.
Wait, did he have a beard in the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
since
dude.
I've seen that movie.
He had that giant like I'm being facetious here. A giant like blade that was like 2 feet long and was like cutting. I think he was in the cave. And he was shaving with what looked like a broadsword.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm
not shaving with a giant Bowie knife.
Okay, so it's not I thought you said the beard is not. It was a hard no. You're saying the shaving with
shaving with a Bowie knife is not going to happen.
You can't shave it. That's just movie shit. Can you shave with that thing?
I saw it in the movies.
Yeah, right. I saw it on the internet. Must be true.
I don't know. It's not. I'm not going to find out.
See, I don't see that as a hard no, because you could go by. Nobody does that. Rambo does that apparently in the movie. How's that a hard no? Who does this?
Just the thought of it is a hard no. It's nothing I would ever try. Nothing ever. Even if you said like, you had a ZZ Top level beard and you needed to finally trim it, I'll default to that rusty Bic and some cold water. I'm not using a giant Bowie knife.
Well, I mean, what did they use like back in the day? I'm talking like the pictures of the presidents. None of them had beards, so they must have been shaving with something. What kind of razors did they use back in those days? Were they straight razors? Because wait, you have to be able to shave with a Bowie knife because they have those old school straight razors. You can go to
like a Mach 2.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit older than that. Because like there's these barbershops in town that cater to that.
Yeah.
Right? They'll give you the hot towel treatment, and they use those old school straight razors.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess
I've got it done once.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to be able to shave with a Bowie knife, I guess, if you needed to.
I think someone doing it to you versus you doing it yourself. That's also like not trying to like basically commit an upper version of Harry Carey.
Right. Well, some people would say I'd rather do it myself. At least it's my hand. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna let some guy do it.
No.
But
no.
I default to the experts on that.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I can see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Leave a like on the video. I know you're enjoying this. Can you shut up?
The internet's answer to a question that was never asked. The Tilted Table with Sean and Joe.
One of my hard no's, big time hard no's, is going to be gym saunas or spas.
Oh.
I would never, ever, ever, ever get into a gym spa, like a hot tub, I guess, or whatever.
It's one of those like you don't want to have like one of those UV lights so you could see everything.
It's human soup. It's disgusting. Why anyway? And well, it's chlorinated or whatever. No, I don't care. They got it at like 1,000,000 degrees. I don't care. It's gross.
Yeah,
you know.
You're paddling around in a bunch of dead skin cells.
And the other one, like the saunas, I'm a hard no on that. I don't want to sit naked in a room with a bunch of other dudes. I don't get that at all either.
And carry on random conversations with people as you wear a towel or a loincloth.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should take that back a little bit. I don't know if I really have that big of a problem with the sauna. Maybe I don't really get it. Because I'm not entirely sure that saunas do much for you. Like I'm sure there's science behind it. It clears out your pores and makes your skin better. I've just never been convinced that it's that beneficial to you to sweat like that in a hot.
I like room. A good sauna, but to your point, I'm not gonna. I'd like a place that has a super cool, modern, clean, sterile sauna. I'm not gonna go climbing one at the gym down the street with has been used for the last 3 weeks without being Cloroxed.
I mean, I'm not a germaphobe, but even like going to the gym, I get a little just because you're constantly grabbing equipment and weights and
are you the guy that puts on latex gloves when you lift weights?
No, I don't do that because I don't want to look like a weirdo.
You're wearing your mask.
I just suck it up and I'm like, okay, 50,000 hands have touched this today, and people have been sweating all over this machine. It's like you can go get the what is it?
The little Clorox wipes.
Yeah, you get the wipes, you can wipe it down. The problem is that the gym I go to is so fucking crowded that if a machine opens up and you think you're gonna go get a Clorox towel and come over and wipe, no, you'll never make it. You'll get there and somebody's already on it. You're like, son of a bitch, right? So. I just, after I'm done with the gym, I wash myself thoroughly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you carry around like one of those like little Purell dispensers?
No, but I'll tell you what I do take to the gym that I never, ever, ever see anybody else have, and it baffles me. And I swear to God, I know I'm wrong because I know there's been other people there with them. I cannot actually cite a specific time I was at the gym and said, oh, that person has what I have, which is a fucking towel.
I took a towel.
I know. I don't understand. I mean, I go to the gym I go to, and it's on the rich side of town with a bunch of rich-ass motherfuckers, and none of them have towels. I don't know why being rich would make you carry a towel, but I think it would be more.
You'd probably take it like a personalized item.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and the number of chicks I see at this gym that have full makeup on and their hair done while they're, sitting there, on the
their matching coordinated set.
Yeah. So it's like you think that they would, have a towel. Like you're touching a bunch of shit. Wipe that shit down. Because I use my towel. I cover things, so I cover the armrests and things like that with it.
You're like the Howie Mandel inside the gym.
See, that dude, he's a germaphobe. So I'm not a germaphobe like that. Because I don't do that anywhere else. I mean, I work in a fucking school. You want to talk about dirty as fuck?
Yeah.
And I don't trip that hard at school. But then they're not sweating all over these machines. They're just sweaty ass kids. Yeah. So
grimy.
Yeah, they're grimy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a hard no for me. Gym spas and saunas, nah, I don't. Human soup, I'm not into it.
It's funny. My brother, like one of his main hard nopes, main. He only has like 2 in his entire life, and that's one. He will not, even at my parents' house that has a spa, he won't get in it. He's like, that's disgusting. He wants to have a personalized, never before used spa that nobody will ever use except for him.
See, I kind of could see that. And when I bought this house, it had a pool, and I was looking for a house that had a pool and a hot tub combo thing. And I still would want one of those. For some reason, if it's my hot tub, even if other people are in it, it doesn't bother me as much as thousands of strangers using that thing over and over again. Because again, if you go to the gym spa,
you don't know what's in there.
I mean, how many people have sat in that thing?
Or done things in that thing.
Yeah. And especially after working out or during working out in the sweat, I'm not doing it. Plus, I also know how clean my hot tub would be because it's my hot tub. I know what I fucking put in it.
Yeah. Facts.
So I wouldn't be, tripped out on that.
One of the one things you don't see anymore, like when it first came out, was all the rage. And now the last time I saw one of these was in Vegas at was it like Circus? It was a place that you would never in a million years allow them to give you a platform to bungee jump.
Boy.
Right?
Well, I can tell you right now, a hard note for me is Circus.
I'm with you on that one. Just the fact they haven't painted it since the early 80s is terrible.
How's that place still open? Cheap rooms, I'm assuming.
And you take your one step inside and your foot sticks. Like, no. But bungee jumping at Circus or bungee jumping anywhere is bananas. Just, I don't understand the point either. Like, it's like a death wish thing. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. Skydiving makes more sense to me. Like, you're going to get a great view.
You get to fly, basically.
You're going to fly. You're probably doing it with other people. You're going to see things that, less than, 0.5% of people ever see.
Right.
Like, that makes sense to me. Jumping off a giant structure to, like, compress your spine and hope to live is like, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, I've never done it. I have zero interest in it. My biggest problem with bungee jumping, I think it's not the actual jump, but the fact that you're hanging while they pull you back up. I fuck that. But I actually got a fear of heights, so anything like that probably wouldn't.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's multiple reasons for not skydiving and not bungee jumping, other than what the obvious part. But yeah, and whenever you see the people that are working at a bungee jumping place too, it's like 3 levels above a carny. I think I would trust my life more in riding the zipper with a meth head than I am bungee jumping.
Well, I'm thinking, I did something that was similar to bungee jumping once at Six Flags, Magic Mountain. This is 20 years ago, maybe even longer than that. They had I guess you'd call it a ride. It was called the Devil Dive. And basically what it did, it turned you into a human pendulum. So it was like a crane setup. And, you stand on this platform and it's tied around your waist. And you jump off and you just swing like a pendulum and you get very close to the ground and it comes back the other way and you just keep going back and forth until you slow down and then pull you off the thing. I did that.
You're like in a sling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not there anymore. I don't think it is. I think the last time I went to Magic Mountain, I got kicked out because we were smoking pot and they caught us. So we got thrown out. That was so long ago. But when we went there, the time I got thrown out, it was gone. They didn't have it there anymore.
Probably couldn't get insurance.
Maybe it just wasn't that popular. I don't know. Yeah. So I hear you on the bungee jumping. It's not something I would do. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's a hard nope. It's just, I think it falls in the same category as skydiving. I just don't, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, I guess. Like, I'm not going to get so much out of it that it's, I want to go through all that bullshit.
Have you heard of the Forest Hill Bridge? It's up north above Sacramento. So I grew up in a town called Auburn.
Oh, I'm familiar with Auburn.
Yeah, so outside of Auburn, I want to say it's the tallest bridge in North America.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of those where they've had to put up like cyclone fencing because people that decide they can't live anymore.
That's jump off of it.
Yeah, that's the place that they go. I saw a video of let's go jump off the Forest Hill Bridge. I'm like, man, I don't No. Because then, even once the bungee cord is done doing its thing, now you just gotta hang there.
Yeah. That's the part of bungee jumping I can't do. Fuck that.
Or people that do it off of a hot air balloon. No.
Oh my god, I'd love to. I've never been in a hot air balloon. Now that's not a hard yes for me. I'd love to go on a hot air balloon.
It's all right. I've done it once, and it was cool for about the first 15 minutes. We went above a bunch of vineyards outside of Napa. That part was cool. Yeah. After 15 minutes, though, I was like, when is this over?
So boring. Well, so we hard yes on the hot air balloon, hard no on jumping, bungee jumping off of a hot air balloon. Yeah, so we'll go with that. I'm going to throw one out that I think some people might find surprising. A hard no for me is surfing.
Really?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I've done it twice in my life. One, I'm no good at it. That's part of the reason why I didn't like it. I couldn't stand on a damn surfboard to save my life. But the physical exertion to get that damn thing out in the water and then to try to find a wave and jump on the board and then surf this wave. And even if you're good at it, you're only up for a handful of seconds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just doesn't I've never had a workout like fucking getting that goddamn board out in the water and getting out close enough to the waves where I can, and then you're going up and down as you're trying to get everything. And then you get on that, hit that wave, stand up and try to ride the wave. And the few times I pulled off actually kind of riding a wave, I'm coming back, I'm sore as shit that I can barely move the next day. Fuck surfing.
I would say, I would do, that's one I actually would do, but yeah, I totally get it. I do like watching those big wave videos where they're setting records like off the coast of Portugal or, Cookie and I've been to Fiji twice. And when you get into the terminal at the airport, in Fiji, I'd say most of it's packed with people and surfboards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those big wave competitions.
So you've never actually gone surfing?
No, but then that's just because I've never had the opportunity.
Yeah.
I think windsurfing looks really cool.
Yeah, that looks fun.
Or and I would never do this, but I think it's cool. Kite surfing.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks also like a way you can totally break your back and your skull in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's again, a lot of these things are dangerous. It's half the reason why they're hard nopes for some people. It's dangerous.
There's I have a nope and a yes at the same time. So there's something new that's out there. It's a league, and it's kind of sprouting up across the United States. Okay. I think this is awesome. I think it'd be cool if you and I had a team or sponsored a team called the Lightning Riders.
Okay.
And it's called Taser Ball. So it's an indoor soccer field basically, and you've got like a soccer ball, and you play it. It's a round ball, but you play it almost like football, and you're given a taser.
Okay.
And that's how you take out your opponents to get them to fumble the ball. But there's no like actual plays. It's kind of like soccer. It's just a continuous motion.
Well, it sounds like, like rugby maybe, where you're just trying to move this ball down the field while people are trying to stop you from doing it.
Using tasers.
Yeah, using tasers.
Yes.
Sounds like an internet prank video kind of thing where somebody's created it just to get a bunch of hits and followers.
Sounds entertaining. I've watched a couple of videos.
Have you ever been tased?
I have not. That's why I preface by saying this is like a nope and a yes at the same time. I think it would be pretty darn entertaining, but no, I don't feel like being tased today.
I have a friend, Sergio, who has tasers, and he's enamored with tasers. And when he drinks, he'll pull out his taser and just fire it off. And he quasi-threatens, like, I'm going to zap you. He's never actually done it. But a couple times he's pulled that thing out. I'm like, dude, and he's just enough of a jerk. I think if he was just drunk enough, he might do it, just to do it.
Does he tase himself?
I've never seen him tase himself, but knowing him, he probably has.
Does he do, what's the type of battery that has like the positive, negative poles on the top? Was it?
You mean like a 9-volt?
Yeah, 9-volt. Is he like going to tase himself on his tongue type of a thing?
I've never been tased, but it doesn't look fun. And I can't imagine it's good to get tased over and over again. So this league that they have, how many times you get tased in a game, it could kill you. I'm assuming if you kept getting tased at some point, it could conceivably I don't know, induce a heart attack or something. Those voltage.
How do you like that name, the Lightning Riders?
Yeah, it's a cool name. I'm not going to be part of the league though. I wouldn't mind being a team owner if it's making money. I'll do that.
Oh, that's awesome,
right? And is that the requirement to even to be any part of this league? You have to get tased. It's like when you join the military, they they tear gas you and they put you through all that stuff, so you know what it feels like. Right. So if I'm an owner of a team, I'm telling you to get your ass out there and get tased some more. I have to know what it's like to get tased.
It's like getting jumped in a gang.
Right. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. But hey, best of luck to them. One thing that America needs is more top tier sports, because we only got a few. We got to get a whole new game,
something fresh, something for every man. Get out of your Barca Lounger and head to your local taser ball arena.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to throw one more out that is similar to the gym and saunas or spas or whatever you want to call it. Water parks. I will not do water parks.
Really?
That is a hard no. Fuck water parks.
Because,
well, I mean, part of it
is
like
little kids peeing in the water type of thing.
Yeah, that's one of the main problems.
And up with weird skin conditions.
Yeah, I think that's the big one. But the other thing I think to me is I don't find most water park attractions particularly fun. See, it's weird because I like roller coasters; those are fun. But like big water slides, no. I feel like somebody. Well, if I go face first, it's just like somebody taking a very powerful squirt gun and blowing water in my face, or if I'm going the other direction, I'm getting an enema.
Giant. What do they call it? An atomic wedgie?
Yeah, an atomic wedgie. So I don't find any of the attractions at water parks all that fun. And they'll say like, well, they got lazy rivers and they got swimming pools, and who doesn't like a swimming pool? But again, it goes back to the whole public swimming pool. Yeah, and I think the problem I have with water parks in particular, at least at the gym, at least 90% of the people going in that spot are adults. And I don't think the majority of adults are going to like piss in it. Whereas I feel like when you get a bunch of kids, right? I'm giving faith to a lot of humans out there, but I'm going with it. I'm going to stick with my theory. But with the kids, it's the exact opposite. I think it's like 5% of kids don't piss in a pool. They'll get out and they'll go to the restroom. I don't care what anybody says, man. You got 40, 50 kids in that pool. It's nothing but a big toilet.
So you better not have any open cuts or wounds.
Yeah, so I am a hard no on water parks. And I think the other part of water parks that bother me is just it's a place where there's just tons and tons of kids. And with children, smaller in moderation is great, but tons of them is just too much. Maybe it's PTSD for being a teacher. So I don't know what it is. I like being in class with them. I don't want to be recreationally around, hundreds and hundreds of kids.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I don't mind not like water parks, but I think when you get on something called a cliffhanger, and the safety person's a 15-year-old kid, yeah, I don't know about all that.
What's embarrassing is that like the 90% of these lifeguards are teenagers. Can you imagine being a 45-year-old man drowning and some 15-year-old kid saves you? Well, yeah, that couldn't. Yeah, this kid saved my life. Right?
Yeah, you got to put that on your resume under skills and accomplishments.
Some pimply faced teenager saved your life. Fuck that.
It could be on page 7 of the newspaper.
Do you got any more?
Anything that David Blaine does, like I'm going to be buried alive in a giant ice cube, or I'm going to be suspended, for 2 weeks and not receive any food or water. Like, I don't understand all that stuff. I think I guess props to him for stretching the human body's abilities, but yeah, hard nope on anything David Blaine's up to.
Yeah, see, I like David Blaine. Those stunts are interesting to me just because, first I didn't know if they were real, but I think it's been pretty much, clarified or proved that it is. He does these endurance things, but I see a lot of people criticizing, a lot of magicians going like, big deal. You locked yourself in a box, suspended over a river for whatever it was, 30 days, no food, no water, whatever the fuck it was. Like, okay, who cares?
Yeah. So yeah, it is a, like I say, stretching the body's abilities, but again, that's anything he's got, hard nope.
Yeah. And I think a lot of those endurance things from like a spectator's point of view, my first thought is like, what is your first reaction to this? And I think everyone has the same first reaction, and it's the only reaction. And then once you have that reaction, it's over. There's nothing else to ponder about what's going on, which is like, I wonder if he's going to die. okay, and that's it. That's your reaction, and there's nothing else to say. Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna die. Like he locked himself in a block of ice. Did you see that one?
I did see that one.
Right.
Yep.
My first thought was like, I wonder if he's gonna die. And that's it. There's nothing else to talk about, right? And then you wait whatever. I don't know how many days he was in that block of ice.
Well,
and he didn't die.
Well, I guess you kind of know that if he's doing something, it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to end because he's walking around after the fact. But yeah, I think it's any of his stuff is for me again hard nope. I'm interested like when I hear the like whatever the thing is going to be, and then I lose interest like 30 seconds later.
No. Well, yeah, I think part of the spectator interest is going to be what if he does die, right? Or if something tragic happens. I think that's a lot of what people are kind of looking for. It's half the reason people watch NASCAR, in my opinion. They want to see the wrecks. They want to see shit go down.
Right.
There was a guy named Amazing Joe. So this is 1991. And a friend of mine was his assistant.
Okay.
Whatever, the girl that would be there with the magician. And he was one of those escape artists. And he went to Blackbeard's, and he was going to bury himself 6 feet deep and somehow escape this thing. I don't know exactly what the plan was. But he was a very amateur magician, and he decided to use a glass box because he wanted like cameras down there to show that he's going to get out of the straitjacket he's in or whatever. And this is a dude, and like I said, I know these magicians, when they do this stuff, they're dialed in. They've got experts to make sure that nothing's, or at least generally speaking, that, nothing's going to go wrong. Mm-hmm. This guy was some amateur that had none of this. He did this all himself, and he has no background in like engineering. So he puts himself in, and this happened live. I was at Blackbeard's when it happened. They filling up the hole, and it gets near the top, and just the dirt caves in.
Ooh.
Yeah. Amazing Joe, not so amazing.
Did they drag him out?
Oh, he dragged his dead body out of there.
Oh, I didn't hear that part of the story.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It hit, how much is 6 feet worth of dirt? And the weight of that crushed him. Yeah, and then everybody said, like, after it happened, like, that he didn't have any, he got this glass coffin. I don't know where he got it or if he built it. But he didn't run any checks on this thing. Did absolutely nothing to, like, is this thing going to be able to withstand the weight of the dirt?
Does that fall under the Darwin Awards?
I'd say it falls under the Darwin Awards.
Wow.
If you're going to be an escape artist, there's a reason David Blaine and those dudes make the shit look so easy. They have a team of people. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing. So these types of tragedies don't happen too often. But if you're some jackass amateur with no staff, you probably shouldn't do this shit. Unless it's a trick. And, I'm not actually, it's not real. What you think it's real, but it's not.
Right,
Unless
right.
it's some kind of trick. Nah. So,
hard nope.
Well, for Amazing Joe, it should have been a hard nope. He'd still be here today.
All right.
I have an important announcement for you, so stay tuned.
Yo, that's some next level shit, bruh.
So you got me. Big deal.
The internet's answer to a question no one asked. The Tilted Table with Sean and Joe.
Folks, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Tilted Table, the internet's answer to a question that no one asked. I am Sean Landon Clark.
And I am Joey Joe, the Fracky Mac. Mm-hmm. Like, smash that bell, get all the notifications.
Yeah. This is the real reality show.
Absolutely. Welcome to The Tilted Table.
Face.